As nearly 2.7 million Ukrainians flee their country, the United Kingdom now plans to offer its citizens a payment of £350 a month to provide housing.
Fox News contributor and UK native Douglas Murray joins us now on the couch. Good morning, Douglas.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Great to have you.
We were just talking in the green room about this, and you have a unique, not just perspective, but academic background to speak to this program in the UK. What do you think about it?
Well, I'm actually not a supporter of it. The UK government is suggesting that UK households can apply within a limited period to have a Ukrainian family or family member come and live with them, somebody they don't necessarily know. And for this, the UK government will pay that household $450 a month. There are several big problems with this. The first is they're doing this because there's a massive feeling across Europe, as there is to some extent in the United States, of seeing these people in Ukraine, seeing people fleeing. You say 2.5 million have fled Ukraine already. There's this feeling of, are we doing enough? Well, people point out that, of course, the Poles have taken in X number of people and the UK has taken in, I think, 50 or something to date. Well, of course, because the UK isn't a neighbouring country. I mean, of course, neighbouring countries are always going to be taking the bulk of any movement of people. But the second thing, the more important thing, is all of the studies on migration, particularly migration from war zones, has shown in recent years it's much more desirable to keep people in the area of the country which they're fleeing from, for all sorts of reasons, but one of which is financial. It was shown during the 2015 migration crisis, which I wrote about extensively, that you could pay for 100 migrants to remain in the area they were fleeing from, as compared to the cost of one to be, say, flown to Norway and encouraged to live there. So there's all sorts of cultural reasons you want to keep people in the area that they're fleeing from. It's easier for people to return when, hopefully, the war is over. And it's actually just economically much easier to pay for suitable living conditions in the neighbouring countries than to say, let's disperse Ukrainian refugees across Europe.
Right. It makes total sense, absolutely, what you're saying. But clearly politics has something to do with it because when the situation, for example, in Afghanistan happened, our government was, falling over itself to bring people over. And then I just recently read an article that they were asked, a lot of people, because they are concerned about the Ukrainians, a lot of citizens asking, why don't they, bring them here? And the Biden administration said, oh, no, there's now research that it's best to keep them over there. And I was like, wait a minute, what happened here?
Yeah, there is pretty much agreement. I mean, left-wing migration experts in the last 10 years conceded the point I've just made. But they go back and forth, and as you say, unsurprisingly, politics is in the mix here. I was always amazed with the Afghan refugees crisis. There wasn't enough attention paid to the people who helped us in Afghanistan, and helping them specifically. Always other things get caught up in it. When people say, we should open our borders to yet more migrants in this place, they forget we've done this a lot in all of our countries. Britain, in recent years, has given asylum potential for millions of people from Hong Kong, because Britain feels, quite understandably, a historic responsibility for the Chinese rolling over and just closing democracy down in Hong Kong. But you can't keep doing this every time there's a crisis. Much more desirable to be specific in the people you actually give asylum for. Give it to the people who've helped your forces. Give it to the absolutely top deserving people. But the idea that our countries, just because terrible things keep happening around the world, should keep saying the answer is bring the world to us.
That is the left-wing answer, though, now.
And the problem is it satisfies this kind of short-term thing. The short-term thing is this terrible war is happening. We should be doing more. Of course people feel that. But there's a long-term consequence from this. And as I said in my 2017 book on migration, The Strange Death of Europe, you've always got to be careful in that sort of something must be done phase. That you don't decide to say something must be done, and that's a short-term answer, but the long-term consequences are with you forever.
Something must be done, but who must do it? And some of the Middle Eastern countries could also have helped as well.
And refused to.
Refused to. That's right.
Really good stuff. Thank you, Douglas.
Awesome.
Thank you.